Backup with Dropbox. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Are you getting my weekly Confident Computing newsletter? If not, visit askleo.com/newsletter and sign up today. Each week I publish new answers, ideas, suggestions, shortcuts, and more. Again, that's askleo.com/newsletter. So as you know by now, I'm a huge fan of backing up. I think it's one of the single most important things that you and I can do as users of our computers, as users of our technology in general. The problem, of course, is that the backup that we generally think of are what I would call daily. I espouse using a tool like Macro Reflect or ESIS To Do or any of the others that will do the same thing to take a daily backup of your entire machine. There are different ways to do that. I've got lots of articles on doing that on Ask Leo. The problem with that approach, though, is what happens halfway through the day. The scenario that we care about here is that you're spending all morning working on, say, a document or some kind of important piece of information on your computer, and your hard disk crashes, and that information is gone forever. Tools like Dropbox can help. They can help a lot by giving what I will call near real-time backing up. So Dropbox and Dropbox-like programs work in an interesting way. When we talk about them, we often think of you install Dropbox on machine A, you install Dropbox on machine B, sign them both into the same account, and then whatever file you put on machine A's Dropbox folder shows up on machine B, and vice versa. That's an oversimplification of what really happens though, because honestly, machine B isn't really even needed. When you actually create a file in your Dropbox folder on the machine A, it will automatically get uploaded to your online storage, to your cloud account with Dropbox. From there, it then gets downloaded to machine B, if machine B exists, or machines B and C and D if you have multiples, like I do. The important thing, though, is that the document got uploaded to the cloud. The other nuance is that it's not just placing a file in your Dropbox folder. It's updating a file in your Dropbox folder. So if you simply make a change to a file and hit save, and that file is being saved into your Dropbox folder, it automatically gets copied to the cloud. That sounds like a backup in almost real time. Let's walk through setting up Dropbox so that you can do exactly that. So this is my Windows 10 machine. You can see that I don't yet have Dropbox installed on it. In fact, there's nothing in the D menu here at all. That means, though, is that we're going to go out to Dropbox.com. Now, one of my gripes about Dropbox right now is that they are trying very, very, very hard to push their paid subscriptions. I get that. It may or may not be something that you'll want to investigate someday, but to actually get their free version, which absolutely still exists, is not obvious. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by signing in. Now, since we don't already have a Dropbox account, you'll click on Create an Account. Now, to create a Dropbox account, all you really need is a name, an email address, and a password. You have to, of course, agree to the terms of service and create an account. This is where you get the choice to sign up for one of their paid plans. I am going to go ahead and let LastPass save my credentials because we'll be using those from time to time. But you can see here you've got Plus, you've got Family, you've got Business. You can try them each free for 30 days. Don't bother with any of that. The key is this link down here at the bottom that says, or continue with the 2 GB Dropbox basic plan. The 2 GB plan is exactly that. You have 2 GB of cloud storage. If later you find you need more, fine, you can upgrade. But for now, for the kinds of things that we're doing on a daily basis, for the small stuff that most people are interested in doing, 2 GB is a great place to start. And that's what we'll do. The next step is, in fact, to download Dropbox app on your machine. That app is what will cause some of the behavior that I was telling you about earlier. We'll go ahead and open the installer and run it. I'm going to go ahead and minimize the browser window at this point and let the Dropbox installer do its thing. Now, for reasons unknown, Dropbox insists on bringing up another browser window. We'll make that one go away for the time being. This is the Dropbox app running on my PC. You can see that down here in the lower right-hand corner, there is an icon for Dropbox that's been added to the notification area, and it's waiting to be linked to a Dropbox account. What we'll do is sign in using the account we just created. And Dropbox is installed. Now, there are advanced settings that I'll at least look at real quick. There's nothing you really need to change here at this time. Dropbox will then give you some options here to say make them local or make them online only. At this point, the simplest solution is to say make files local. That way, all of the files that appear in your Dropbox will always be copied to your machine. As disk space comes to a premium, then maybe making some of the files online only is a good approach. But with a 2 GB Dropbox account, that's probably not something we need to investigate right away. We'll talk about keeping your PC backed up as a separate step. We'll say not now for now. What we've done now is we have opened Windows File Explorer on our Dropbox folder. You can see here it says Leo Note and Boom, my account home directory, and a Dropbox folder. You can also see it here on the side, same location. Any file that I now place in this Dropbox folder will get placed in Dropbox Online. Now, normally you're not doing anything special, right? You are using whatever programs you're using, and you kind of want to understand what Dropbox is up to. You can click on the Dropbox icon, and you can see here that this includes 3 or 4 very interesting icons. The magnifying glass is, of course, a search to search across your Dropbox. The file folder is what opens up Windows File Explorer on your Dropbox folder. The globe is what opens your Dropbox folder in your browser. Now, in your browser, of course, you'll see all files. We actually haven't uploaded anything. They've suggested some folders. I find it's great that they're making suggestions. We don't need suggestions. What we need to do is use these folders ourselves. And again, the key takeaway from what it means to be using Dropbox is if I now go and create a file, I'll call it example.txt, and I create that in my Dropbox folder, then you can see automatically that file has shown up online in my Dropbox.com cloud storage. I can modify the file here and it'll be modified on my PC. If I modify it on my PC, it'll be uploaded here. That's the fundamental thing we're relying on when it comes to Dropbox. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close this for the time being. The important thing to note here is this path. If we actually take a look at the path that I'm using, you can see that it's C:\users/ my login name on this machine /Dropbox. You can create more subfolders if you like. They will be replicated to the cloud and to other machines as well. For this example, I'm going to keep it simple, and we're just going to use this one folder. So now that we've got Dropbox installed, how do we make it save the work in progress? Well, I don't have any apps like Word or Excel installed on this machine, but I am going to show you exactly what it is you might change should you be interested in changing it, so that when you do your work in those applications, your default folder becomes your Dropbox folder. I'm going to fire up Edge and go into Settings. I'm going to search for Download. And if we scroll down far enough, you'll see that there's this location, See Users Lnote Downloads. Let's change that. Let's change that to be my Dropbox folder. So that would be Dropbox. And if you take a look after we've selected the folder, you can see now that this says C:users Lnote Dropbox. What that means is that every time I download a file in Edge, it will get placed in the Dropbox folder automatically without my having to do a thing. Then Dropbox will notice the file exists, and it will automatically then also upload that file to my Dropbox account online. Then if I have other PCs that are signed into the same Dropbox account, they too will automatically download this same file into their Dropbox folders. Now here I've changed the download folder for Microsoft Edge. What you might consider doing, what I strongly suggest you consider doing, is in whatever application you use day to day, change the default document location to be your Dropbox folder. In the companion article for this video, I show an example of changing the document location for Microsoft Word. Changing the document location for Microsoft Word to be C:users/login name/Dropbox means that every time you create a new document in Word, it gets placed in that folder. That means that every time you hit save, every time you close the document, every time you update the document, it automatically gets uploaded to your Dropbox folder online, and again, any other machines that happen to be in that same Dropbox account. Now, you'll notice that we did gloss over something that on its surface seemed kind of pertinent to the discussion we're having. And that's this concept of keeping your files backed up. You'll notice that they continue to advertise the availability of this feature. This brings us back to that same screen we saw earlier as we were setting things up. You can tell Dropbox that in addition to your Dropbox folder, it should also deal with your desktop, your documents, your downloads, and potentially even a few more folders if you're so inclined. If you do that, then anything that is currently in these folders, anything that is eventually added to these folders, will be replicated to your Dropbox account online. That might be a good thing. There's two problems with that, and why I recommend you not enable this at this time. First problem is that I have seen either Dropbox or OneDrive, which has a similar feature, or some of the other cloud storage providers really confuse things where there are multiple document folders or there are multiple downloads folders. It can be very disconcerting depending on exactly how this feature is implemented. I think Dropbox does it right. The real issue here is that you'll be surprised at how much you have in those folders right now. Remember, we started with a 2 GB free Dropbox account. You could easily blow that simply by turning on this backup, because there's a good chance you've got more than 2 GB of data in these folders. So for now, I strongly recommend you say not now and continue backing up those folders some other way, hopefully using your nightly backup. But by using Dropbox to back up its own folder regularly in real time and changing that to be the default location for all of your work, you get nearly real-time backup for free. And as I close out the written article on this, Dropbox can be an important part of a healthy backup strategy. For updates, for related links, again, for the article on which this video was based with the examples that it contains, visit askleo.com/17696. I'm Leo Notenboom. This is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.